Hello, this is Pastor James. I'm coming to you midweek, and I wanted to talk to you about a series that we began this last Sunday and is continuing all the way through Christmas Eve, when we are going to celebrate joy in a big way out on the lawn and online with you. This is the series called Joy, which is actually based on the Greek word kara, which is a great word. Starts with a cross at the beginning, or the letter chi. But one of the things that we need to recognize going into this series is that the world needs joy. And I wanted to talk to you about that today because joy is connected to purpose. And we find that spoken so powerfully through the book of James, which is written by the younger brother of Jesus. Can you imagine the suffering he experienced in his life as he saw his own older brother, the one he admired and looked up to and loved? And I have a feeling that Jesus was probably a pretty good older brother. And to see him dying on the cross and tortured and going through so much pain, and then to go through those trials and then have Jesus come back to life again, talk about a confusing moment in his life, and then to see him ascend into heaven and know that that mantle has been given upon James to carry forward into a broken world. So much brokenness. It was such a hard journey for those early disciples. And so when James talks about the things of this world, about joy being lacking in so many ways in so many people's lives, this is how he talks about it. This is what James says. He says, "My brothers and sisters, think of the various tests you've encountered." Can you think of any tests you've encountered over COVID or even this week? I'm sure you can. He says, "I want you to think of those tests you've encountered as occasions for joy." You must be looking at this and thinking, this man he needs help. He is not thinking clearly. This is what James goes on to say. He says, "After all, you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let this endurance," James says, "complete its work so that you may be fully mature." I love that image of being fully mature, totally grown up, like coming into your true self, complete again, and lacking in nothing. There's a wholeness. Now, this is what we need to know going into our Joy series. This is a hard time. This is a very, very hard time. There have been hard times in this world, and there have been historic hard times that will be talked about for generations to come. People will ask you what it was like to live during this hard time. This is one of those hard times. This is it. But there's more. As God renews your purpose, true joy will abound. That when you have purpose, when you understand who God is and what God is doing in your life and who you were created to be, there is something that happens within you that recognizes that there are hard times, but God is bringing about good things through those hard times, that the hard times don't come from God. God doesn't bring about bad things in your life or bad things in the world. But God takes those hard times and transforms them for good into opportunities for growth and wholeness and maturity. So I pray that this little season leading into the Christmas season, we know it's so hard to try to understand joy. And I want you to remember, it's hard every year for you to understand joy. It's not a new thing. Every Christmas, it's hard for us to get into the Christmas spirit. So if you feel like that's a new thing this year, I want to remind you, even when the economy was wonderful, people were still suffering from a joy deficit. So don't think that money coming back or the economy coming back is going to restore your joy, a true joy, if you have lost it, because the true joy is an endless joy that comes from Jesus. And finally, I want to tell you this, that this joy journey, this journey that we're going through Christmas, is going to be transformative. And it can be transformative for you, but not just for you, but for your friends and your neighbors. We have a joyful celebration every single Sunday on the lawn that is socially distanced, and we want you to be a part of that. This coming Sunday, which is December 6th, is that right? December 6th? Yep, December 6th in the evening. What time? 5 o'clock, we have an incredible event celebrating joy on the lawn. It's just going to be showing a movie, the Grinch movie, which is the new one, which made me cry every time I've seen it. we'll talk about that later. We're now lighting the Christmas tree. There's going to be appearance by the Grinch himself, and also special appearance by Santa Claus, smash burgers. Why are we doing all this? Because we know there's a joy deficit, and we feel passionately that we have an obligation to this community to meet those people who are suffering from a lack of joy. And we are going to do it in a way that is socially distanced and responsible. And we're going to take the lead and show people that there is a way to celebrate and there is a way to live in a joyful way. And we pray that the people that come, and if you come, that you would experience a connection to the joy that it transcends the hard times and actually takes the hard times and turns them into, as James talks about, occasions for joy. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you in this coming weeks and months. And by the way, Christmas Eve is at 2, 4, and 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve. We'll have them on the lawn, and then we'll also have it online that day. Take care. Have a good one.